Hey, what's up, guys? Nick here with some raw day trading. It's pretty early in the morning. I got a dental appointment, so I got to get out of here. So I'm gonna do a little wrap. It's actually still some action going on because it is 10:30. We got this BTCT that just opened up here at the halt higher. Looks like probably gonna halt down here after a little pop, and that'll be the end of that. That was a crazy move. It actually did this monster curl from opening and really looking like it was going to fail here. Does this, really doesn't give any indication, at least none to me, that I saw that it would go. Super opens up here and proceeds to go 3 halts up. Amazing. I did trade it. I lost money on it, but it was at the open. Okay. It was only 60 bucks. The main names I had today were this one, CERO. I'm just not going to do the video at the moment. I'm going to wait for BTCT to calm down. CERO, super penny name. They've been getting a lot of volume recently. And then FOXO, penny to over $1, and with some action here at the open. They both were continuations from FOXO was a couple day continuation, and then Cero we have is a 1-day continuation from the other day, but it is a consistent theme. The penny names are penny pumps, penny pumping, pumping and dumping, and flumping. That's what's been going on in the small cap world. Of course, if anyone's been paying attention, Bitcoin has been just ripping faces off here on a longer time frame. Actually, let me just get out the bigger chart. Basically, assets are bleeding up higher on bolstered U.S. sentiment from the Trump election. And let me see here. I can't think at the moment. Yeah. And so you have, probably even better just to do daily. This thing just piling higher, goes from 70 just a couple days ago to 90K. Really, really big moves here. Gaps higher. I actually do expect it to test this gap. That's a pretty glaring, obvious gap higher. And it's not, it's over the weekend. It's not on any super super crazy news. The news actually happened over here November 5th at the election, and then from then it just kind of just bled higher and higher and higher. Then we have so this is not investment advice, of course, but then we have the S&P, SPY, kind of did the same thing. Like, it showed some strength November 5th. Is November 5th the election? I think it was November 5th. Well, it opens higher, gaps a little bit, and then grinds up. And now it taps 600, looking to probably consolidate a little bit, test these gaps. These gaps rarely go unfilled. I don't think I've seen anywhere where it doesn't go and then test the gaps and see if they hold, yada, yada, yada. But that's some technical stuff. I don't know if you guys care. As for me today, I had a pretty clean day. Low amount of orders, big size. For me personally, actually, not really big size. It's just getting size to where it just feels normal to trade with, 3,200 shares or 6,500 shares on these penny names. And I made about $819 after fees, 802. And yesterday I did a thing where I gave back 5. I was up 5, gave back all of it, then worked my way back up to like 480. So I decided, because I have stuff going on in a little bit, because I am up a decent amount, it's a good day for me. I'm just gonna let it go. I don't think I see. Also, the action is such that the opportunities don't look super attractive. There are some potentials for FLXO to curl, for CERO to, of course, test pre-market highs here. And then BTCT is just a super wild name, and I would want it to really get beat down, get some shorts to invest in that before I take any trades on it. Let's see. It's quiet enough on this BTCT where I don't care about recording it or checking it out. So I'm going to go now to the video archives of what we had going today. What is that Mulan doing? MULN. Wow. Little fun note. Look, so this thing had so many reverse splits, which means they limit the amount of shares to raise the price. And the value that the people are holding don't change, but the value is consistently going down so much. And there's a rule that says you have to have a certain price dollar amount of your stock to have it listed. And so they do these reverse splits. But wow, look at how far this thing has come in just a couple. Like literally just a couple of years, this thing has lost all of its value basically. And it's actually moving. Interesting. I did not want to trade this. I know this stock. It has a slippery, sneaky way about it, and I don't like stocks with sneaky ways, unless I can understand the sneakery. And those, I remember I got my ass kicked on. Not even really. I just lost a small amount of money and got frustrated. Probably affected other stuff. And I don't want to trade anymore. Going back to the videotape, let's get into what we had at the open. I remember being slightly unprepared and slightly unsure of what I wanted to trade. I put an order out here on the bid because I've gotten slipped before. This is FOXO, and I had a pretty big size, and I was like, I don't want to get a $600 loss with slip. So I put a bid order out, limit bid order. I probably could have done it through DOS, but it wasn't. I wasn't thinking about that, to be honest. I could do that in the future. But for the dynamic nature of this, I just put a bid out. I was like, I want to get filled at the lows anyways. But the bid pushed the stock a little bit higher. It was doing some signaling that it wanted to really go up, halt up. This doesn't, like, look at the bid down here, 93, and the ask is at 106. I doubt it would have gotten, I would have gotten filled up there. But needless to say, I didn't want to risk it, especially at the open. Market makers can potentially just step away from the stock, and you're not going to get filled where you want to, and you just get filled way higher, and even though it signals lower. And then with that size, I was just like, I'll wait till it gets in the trenches, and there's a higher certainty of getting filled at a reasonable price. And so I do, but then it pops up higher, and I'm like, I don't want to chase this with 6,000 shares. And I don't actually miss this entire move, which for better or worse I do. Maybe I could have sized down at the open, whatever. GovX, I was slightly distracted, thinking maybe it would go, but no. This was, again, a runner at the late evening yesterday. Monkeypox maybe was flaring up, or there was some case in India that got transmitted from human to human. And GovX is a vaccine company, I believe. I'm not sure. So Foxo makes new highs, and I'm not going to take it up here. I actually don't take anything for a minute. I don't see anything. And then the first trade I take was, let me see here. Yeah, just a little consolidation here. It's low volume. I'm like, all right, I can kind of read these a little bit better. So I'm just sitting and watching. They feel like lower risk to me, and I feel like I can position with a better price. Shorts are probably still willing to give liquidity, and so I get in at 108. Moves in my favor. I hold. Moves decently in my favor, and I was able to get out at 813. So, $320. It's a nice trade, and it actually keeps going a little bit. I think it will pull back here in a second. But I was decently content with that trade. I didn't want to be crazy. Again, I came into today very cautious for a couple reasons. I only have a little bit of time. I generally psychologically get overconfident, and so I did not want to do that. I wanted to come in humble, and I did, and that was a good move. Even though I may have missed a couple of trades, I need to mix the humble with accuracy and when opportunities present themselves, and that is something I'm working on. It's like humble aggressive. Like if something shows itself, you take the trade because it's a good setup. I take the trade because it's a good setup, and that's what I can look forward to improving. So it kind of consolidates here. I downsize. I'm like, these setups look sketchy. Take some more trades, kind of creep higher, make some money on the pop up, make over 5, and then I kind of cool off a little bit so as I don't make any rash movements. And then, yeah, there were a couple opportunities there I did not take, especially this one here where the volume kind of shifted and paused for a second, then it ripped higher. I did not recognize that in the moment. I might have been looking at something else. Let me see, what was I doing? So this is what it looked like. And I'm like, this could dip down. But then I started looking at Sarah. I was kind of like back and forth on this one. So if I would have been focused here, I would have seen that. Starts pushing and holding, pushing. Ooh, Tesla a little bit, and still holds. So that it's a sketchy situation if you're not in. And even if you are in, you're like, do I bail on their reversal? Cero starts going. I thought the attention would come off Foxo. Foxo does end up ending up around this like 28 level. Highs were actually 30. The 5-minute I did not like. That's actually why I stopped trading it. I did not like that last 5-minute. But it taps 30 here. And I miss it. I start looking at Cero. I take a couple trades on it. There are a couple break-even trades, and then the one I actually get is this one on the shift of momentum. I get in. And I kind of hold. Actually, I had a low fill, which was nice, and then like the bids start stepping in and pushing the stock up higher, which was a very good thing. And I was pretty comfortable just holding here. It looked good. I mean, it makes a new high on the 5-minute. It's got a target of about 30, and I was watching it and I was like, okay, if it gets down to the 60s, break even or something, I'll take it out. But didn't do that. Pops up high. Oh, huge buyer there. And I get filled right as that buyer shows up. I didn't even see that buyer. Did you guys see that? Just check it here. Right. Boom. It's a 400K buyer that just showed up. This is 350 of it, but it was 400 a second ago. All right. Well, that was that. Puts me up 720, and then I make one more trade on Foxo, and I think on Foxo or on Cero. Make one more trade, puts me up over 8. I'm like, well, I don't. With only $20 of fees, I think that's a steal. Good times. I'm gonna step out on that. Ugh. All right, guys. I'm gonna take off. Have a great day. Peace.